there has to be an intelligent reason for them to turn down that amount of money,
Mhm.
and not only turn down that amount of money, but still pursue their original goals.
Tuned in to Technically Speaking, when we're giving you tech news
That you can use.
You can use.
Hey, and we
Yes,
had to
yes.
bring Bobby back because last week it was getting so good.
Yes,
We had to bring her
was,
back,
it
man.
was,
We had
it
to
was.
cut her off, but we had to bring her back. So
Well, we had
got
to
more.
go. We had to go anyway. You know what I'm saying?
True,
We don't want to
true.
just say we cut her off. We had to go.
That it was getting so good, like at the club, and they start putting on Usher and all the slow music to let us
Yeah.
know, hey, it's time.
It's time. To
We
go.
like, nah, let me get one more in.
Yeah, and then they played the Too Short song. It's time to go.
Hey. So
Yeah, man.
man, we back, man. Another interesting week in tech news, man. We gonna go ahead and jump to it, man. So one question I want to ask y'all, man, could y'all pass up on $23 billion?
Now here, let me just tell. Look, money is not my Achilles heel, but $23 billion, yeah, I'm out. I ask God to forgive me later.
You know what? It depends on what it is. It depends
Yeah,
on what it is.
I'm not gonna sell my
Like
soul though. I'll leave that to
I was about to say,
Kanye.
would you be willing to sell your soul? Like there's nothing on earth that could
Nah,
fill that void in your life, and money ain't gonna fix that. So
it
it just
ain't.
depends.
True,
You know what I mean? But
true.
if I owned a company, I do. I own two companies. If somebody walked in today talking about Bobby, we're gonna give you shit, I'll sell out for 23 million. I'll even do it for 2.3 million. I'll do it for even less. I'm like, you know
Let me
what?
play
I'm
what's
done.
going
I'm out the
on, man.
game.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me play what's going on to show you someone who actually passed on 23 billion. Let's get this going.
Politics in Washington also affecting tech deals. We think. I mean, let's talk to CEO about it. Cloud security startup Wiz rejected that $23 billion takeover offer they got from Google just a week or two ago. The CEO telling employees in a memo they'll return to the original plan of pursuing an IPO, including antitrust concerns as a reason for walking away from the deal. Steve Kovac, I don't understand. Please.
Must be tough to turn down that kind of money.
Walk
That
us
is,
through
yeah.
this.
So look, this is kind of a win for the DOJ's Jonathan Kanter, the FTC's Lina Khan, and let's just toss JD Vance in there as well. A source told CNBC Wiz stepped away from Google's $23 billion offer because it was concerned regulators are going to block the deal. Instead, it's going to continue with those plans to go public. Now, that's exactly the kind of thing that Kanter of the DOJ and Khan of the FTC want to hear. Even after losing some cases, they also say their aggressive stances against mergers have caused many companies to think twice about making those large acquisitions in the first place. Instead, they'd rather see the smaller companies stay independent and go public, as Wiz intends to do now. In a 2023 letter to Representative Thomas Tiffany, Khan wrote, quote, "The fact that the FTC's work is driving this type of deterrence is a real market success," end quote. Now, an example of that, NVIDIA tried to buy ARM Holdings for $40 billion, and after that deal fell through, ARM went on to have its IPO, now has a market cap of about $175 billion. Wiz is privately valued at about $12 billion, so Google was offering a hefty premium, nearly double that current valuation. Rappaport told his staff in a memo it was hard to turn down that offer because the IPO is still going to be the plan. Now the question is, Kelly, how big is that IPO going to be now that we know what Google wanted to pay for it?
Why did...
Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna let y'all talk about that, because when you reach the billion status, I shut down. I mean, I'm like, look, that's a lot of money that comes with a lot of problems, and I'm like, okay, there has to be an intelligent reason for them to turn down that amount of money, and not only turn down that amount of money, but still pursue their original goals.
Well,
Yeah.
look at the analytics of it. As somebody who I drive everything that I do based off of data. Let's say they have somebody on their team who does heavy data analytics. If they can see if they can see if
Well, real
right
quick
now
on IG, we got
they're
Creative Native. He asked, how many zeros is that?
9.
It is.
9.
It's 9.
9
Yeah.
zeros.
Go ahead, Bobby. Sorry to cut you off.
Hey man,
It's
don't
okay.
cut off our guests, man.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
IG can wait. We got Bobby in here.
My fault, Bobby.
All right.
As
All right,
you were.
listen,
Sorry,
listen.
man.
Data drives decisions, okay, and that's what we deal with every day now. Maybe people don't realize it is called data, but that's what it is. They could have a whole team. Wiz has a whole team of data analysts on their side who say, "Hey, listen, right now our company is worth 12 billion. Shoot, they're willing to give us 23. That might be cute on paper, but once we go public, we're going to be worth 104 billion." So they're gonna be like, "No,
point.
thanks. You can keep your pennies. We got more money in the bank." You know what I mean? They politely on a corporate scale was like, "Bye, Felicia." However, they know that in the back end, when when they pull out that data and they're like, "No, we know what we're worth, and we're not willing to sell out right now." And so I mean, that's a risk. It looks good on paper to us, like low folk is what I call us.
Right.
I'm low folk.
Us little people, man.
Yeah.
You know, that's big. That's big money.
I'm gonna get there, but not today. I'm not there today.
Man, I like that faux show money. I mean, that 23 billion would have been some faux show money, because it sounds like they about to pass up on some for show money for some more money. Hopefully they don't end up with no money.
Yeah.
So what do you think? What if they did sell? What if Wiz did sell out to Google? What happens to their employees then? Their employees get a piece of the pie and lose their job, right? You get a piece of the pie, lose their job, or does Google come in and try to say, "Hey, because you were working here, we can try to fit you in somewhere over here"? If Google's got 23 billion to throw around, then you got money for jobs, is what it sounds like, Google.
Now let me tell you something. I worked with a company where they did a hostile takeover, and it was on paper it was a corporate merger, Sprint and T-Mobile, right?
I remember that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So when Sprint and T-Mobile merged, that the internals, I mean, outside, everybody was like, "Oh man, it's great for the company. The company's gonna be big. We're gonna be the largest wireless carrier." And then the internal employees, left and right, you seen people getting severances here, demoted here, moved over here, because you have two different type of companies that work in that's in the same pool, right? So I can understand why Wiz decided to back out on that era. I didn't even think about that, because being on the side where the hostile takeover is what it's called, what I would call it. The people who suffered wasn't the people who got acquired. It was the people who are already been established, like the people who were with T-Mobile. A lot of my friends lost their jobs, and I was a person who I was what we consider the launched employee, and
you were grandfathered in, huh?
Grandfathered in. I worked for the company 20 plus years, and we were the ones that were getting chopped, or they were like, "Okay, well, you are a manager, so we got to demote you to assistant manager." You know what that does to you, and then you have to keep the same team under you. That's bad for morale internally.
Yeah, so, you're right. I didn't even look at it like
that. I can understand that.
Now, not only that, do you keep the same pay?
Well, if they no, hell no. I mean,
hey, let's get to the to the nitty gritty.
No, in some cases, you keep the same pay, but you lose power. And when you're that low level in the company, power is more important than pay. You know what I'm saying? You have less respect from your peers, especially if you're a store manager and now you go down to assistant manager. That means you got a new store manager coming in from another company that doesn't know anything about how your company is. So now you're training him, and then the people who were managing,
that hurt.
They're looking at you like, "Okay, you're the manager. Why are you training him?" Well, company made decisions that affects the bottom line, because anytime a corporate merger, hostile takeover happens, the people who are going to get it the worst are the low-level employees.
So you're talking about the little people, because you always advocate for the little people.
Exactly.
That's what I'm thinking from that. Yeah. Hey, I'm not mad at that. There's always two sides to a coin, right? On if you're talking strictly business, right? It would have been a smart business decision to make, right? But I think, to both of your points, they weren't thinking just strictly business. I think they actually care about their employees and actually made a move that was kind of a happy medium of, okay, if like you said, Bobby, if we got 12 billion now, Google's offering 23 billion, maybe we hold off and we could probably do more, and we can keep our employees that helped us get to this 12 billion.
Yes.
Honorable. You know, yeah, and they're working for that IPO, and maybe that little bit of honor may help with their market cap once they go public, huh?
Of course it will.
Yeah, you have employees, internal employees using their own personal money to buy stocks in the company that chose to keep them.
Yeah.
What's that gonna do?
Ooh,
Mhm.
You know
talk
what I
about
mean?
some good morale. Hey, they get some good ratings on Glassdoor, huh?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Not trying to be okay. So we can. You're 100% right.
Now it matters though.
12 years ago, T-Mobile was about to get acquired by AT&T, and when that merger fell through, T-Mobile went public, and all us employees got shares of the company. And we were like, wow, because of the fact that when the company doesn't merge and there's a clause in there states that since this isn't going to work and you've advertised, you promoted that these companies are going, then now the fallout, the person who was going to acquire, which was AT&T at the time, had to pay T-Mobile back, and I think they had to pay T-Mobile $21 billion for backing out of the deal.
Oh wow.
So yeah, and everybody who was with T-Mobile, they got a back out pay because the company didn't get acquired. We got I believe everybody got 100 shares.
Nice.
And even customers were able to get shares for being, if you were a customer with T-Mobile while we went public, you were able to get a share for having one account with us.
Oh, nice.
That's what's up. And you know what? In the climate we have now in the workforce, right, man? It's hard to find, people to be loyal. There was a wise prophet by the name of Lil Wayne that once said, "These hoes ain't loyal."
These hoes ain't loyal.
But that's a good way to kind of I don't want to say buy loyalty, because you can't buy loyalty, but I think when you do good deeds, you can earn it. There you go. You can earn that loyalty. And I think for Wiz, good point. I didn't expect the conversation to go in that direction, but it's good. I think all the way around, right? That makes Wiz just a good company. Maybe if you're considering working for a cybersecurity company, right? Because that's what they specialize in. Now that I think our conversation is saying they care about their people, man.
Yeah,
they making money, right? So when they go public, hey, I like to put my money where the money's at, right?
Where the money at.
Money makes more money. So
yes.
For those considering, because I'm actually, this came up from what's Blessing? What's our man? Never ending blessing season. Unstoppable blessing.
Unstoppable blessing. Jonathan, my man.
There you go. Yeah, because it came up for him. He was asking, hey, Google is considering acquiring Wiz. Should we do it? So that made me go down a rabbit hole. I'm like, who is this Wiz? Because I'm thinking Wiz Khalifa. Khalifa Kush. But not that Wiz, the different Wiz. Yeah. No, but good point.
He's on down the road. No.
Because in my run in HR, right, and talent acquisition, that matters, man. For a company brand, that matters, because that having a strong, solid company brand can help you with recruitment, right?
Yeah.
But then having these type of conversations when people are doing their due diligence, do I want to buy a stake in this company? I think they're starting off with a good track record to have confidence within the market once they go. So I think there's that, man. Good conversation. And like the article said, this would have been Google's largest acquisition. The second largest acquisition they made recently was they bought Mandiant for $5.4 billion. And then they bought Simplify for $500 million. So they've been buying up cybersecurity companies. I think that's an indicator. What you think, Bobby?
I think Google's got something up their sleeve, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They're playing the long game right now is what they're doing. When you start seeing stuff like that, I'm like, hold on a second. What's going on? Tell me what the bigger picture is here, because there is a bigger picture. We're only seeing snippets of it.
Yeah. And you were saying something when we were offline about cybersecurity. Can you repeat what you were saying, ma'am? Because you were on to something, and I was like, wait, say that for when we go live.
I was mentioning how artificial intelligence is getting to the point where it's almost scary when you're able to. I'm sitting here having a conversation with my husband, telling him, hey, if we ever came into uh, something's about to change in our lives, and we're about to come into a little bit of money. I don't know what that's gonna look like. Don't come at me. I don't know what that's gonna look like, but I'm not gonna
won the
change.
lottery.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I'm not gonna say that. But we are looking.
Consider it a
to get-
grant, so I don't have to pay it back. I don't
we were
want a loan.
looking
Let me get a
to
grant.
we were looking to get a pool,
Nice.
and so I was like, what does this look like financially? And and I'm like, man, I wonder what we could do. I open up my phone. I barely scroll on Facebook, like down two people's Facebooks, and an ad pops up talking about we install these premier pools and you need to get one of these. I'm like, what the hell? Like normally I
Yeah.
see bra ads, but no, I got a pool ad popping up. I'm like,
You said
phone,
right.
stop
AI's
listening.
AI's listening.
Always-
Look,
Hey,
that's
always
look.
listening.
That is the honest to God truth. And the crazy part about that is when you set up a lot of people. And now, okay, I got a lot of ideas running in the head, and I'm gonna.
Yeah. One at a time, brother.
No.
One at a time.
Yeah, one at a time.
Or you spit it
Oh.
out. Creative Native on IG said, Bobby, let me hold $20 until Friday.
You got it. You got it. Creative Native, hit me up. Send me your Cash App, baby. I got you.
Hey, but so when you get these phones, right, and you sign up, and all the little small print that we don't look at, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those are boxes that you check off saying that you allow them to monitor your surroundings, right?
Yeah.
And
Yep.
if you, like me and Geronimo said, with AI now, all you have to do is copy and paste, and then make it send it over to ChatGPT and have them simplify it. And you probably will see that they are asking you to use the permission to use your device.
Yep.
And we don't look at those things because I know when I've set up customers' phones when I worked in the retail space, even when I worked in the corporate business space. They were like, just press all the buttons so we can get through, so we can get our phones. Set me up
Yep.
so I can sign into my Facebook at the time or Instagram.
Agree.
Agree. Yeah, and
Yeah, I read that.
and yeah, you know what I'm saying. And it's like, you're not the only one. I'm sure Geronimo ain't the only one. Hell, I said Keith Lee because I was looking at a Keith Lee post on TikTok about a food restaurant, and lo and behold, when I turn on my YouTube, which my phone is an Apple device, but I turn on my YouTube device, first thing on my feed on YouTube is a Keith Lee video. Y'all know who Keith Lee is?
Nope.
Okay. Keith Lee is a food influencer who's a very wholesome individual. He pretty much just goes and tries food from like mom and pop shops, non-chain restaurants,
Restaurants.
and
Yeah.
he does reviews. And then his goal is to give them increase their platform. And he's so kind-hearted. It's like his goal is pretty much just to showcase their food. If your food is great, he goes and blasts it, and then after, it's called a Keith Lee effect. It never fails. And once he goes there, the business, if it's a good review, the business blows up. It blows up to the point where two things happen. They either have to open another location, or they literally have to shut down because they can't hire enough manpower to run the business.
Or they run out of food. We have a
Yeah.
place out here that does barbecue out here in Texas, and there's been times where the line's out the door, and if you're not there by 1300, baby, you're not getting your sausage.
There's
or
a few of
brisket
those
today.
around here.
Oh, for
Yeah.
real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
They sell out once
that was my
they're done. That's
first-
it.
My first job was a barbecue restaurant. The
I
Rib Nest.
remember that out there in
Yes.
Gardena.
Yes. And I can tell
let's
you right
go.
now, I understand why barbecue restaurants shuts down because of the fact that you don't want to make too much meat for the day. Why?
Yeah.
Because if you cook it the next day, it ain't gonna taste fresh, and then you're gonna have a lot of mad customers. Because barbecue food is expensive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But if you get, and I always tell people, if you're going to a barbecue restaurant, go from the hours of 1 to 6. That's when you get the fresh meat experience, because they season some of their
Make
meat.
me hungry, man.
Bro, I'm telling you, I'm hungry right now just thinking about it. But that's you go in the morning time, you're gonna get the fresh, like it is good, but it's like too hot to enjoy, and it's not all the way cooked 100%, or it's probably overcooked. But you get that 1 through 6, you got the prime of the day barbecue.
Nice.
That's enough about barbecue, because I know I talked.
Who's hungry?
Who's hungry? Yeah, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe.
There you
to that
go. There
channel.
you go. So I mean, wrapping this up, man.
Yeah.
I think this topic, man, this whole whiz passing up on 23 billion from Google. Again, it shows they care about their people. They want to make sure that people keep their jobs. And then also, I think it brings the question: should you invest in cybersecurity related stocks?
Of course.
And then should you invest in cybersecurity careers for those out there that are trying to get into the tech game? Cybersecurity may not be the sexiest girl at the dance anymore because of AI, but she's still cute though. So
speaking of AI, Reddit makes an AI pay to play.
Now, you know what?
Talk to us about that,
as we jump into this, right? You made a good point as far as when you were saying, hey, no one's reading those agreement forms when we get our phones, right? And we're allowing our phones to just listen and give us those recommendations, Bobby. Hey, you need a new pool, don't you?
Those agreements are not for us to use the device. Those agreements for that device to use us. You got to be careful. They're out there using
point,
us,
right? Perfect point. And that's what's going on with Reddit. So Reddit is the user that's saying, oh, hell no, you paying to access my information, to access my data, right? So basically what's been happening, especially in the tech world, Reddit is like the go-to spot to find answers to problems, right? So typically in the tech world, if something comes up, say with like a Linux system, right, and you're trying to figure out how to fix it, I'm gonna go to the Google and I'm probably gonna find an answer on Reddit, right? Well, Reddit said, oh, hell no. You paying for this access, especially for any AI that's trying to train their AI based on the information they're getting from Reddit. Reddit's like, nope, you paying for that. You gotta pay. You gotta pay to play. You're not just gonna access my users' data without paying. So basically they cutting them off. They cutting everybody off. Right now, Google is the only one that has access to Reddit information, but they paying a $60 million fee to get access to that.
Wow.
What y'all think about that?
Bobby, you go ahead first. You know, ladies first by all
I'm
means.
gonna tell you exactly what I did for a second. Google's got something up their sleeve.
You said that earlier.
They are not stupid. They know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
They lining it up. They lining it
They
all. They
are.
getting
That's
ready.
why I said they're in there for the long game.
Yep.
They're making these little things here and there. Maybe they make the news, but most of us people we're not paying attention. We got too many things going on in our daily lives. Nobody's watching what's happening. There's always going to be something bigger happening. Google's a giant. You know.
Go ahead.
No,
What did you say,
Google's a
Bobby?
giant.
Oh, Google is a giant. And Reddit knows that. Reddit's like, oh, nah, you're not about to eat off of me for free. You got to pay.
You got to play. You got to pay to play.
You got to pay to play, baby.
And,
Can't blame them.
Corey.
You can't blame them because of the fact that you don't want to. The reason why Google's paying for it because they know it's two things. One is valuable information. You're gonna pay for valuable information. You don't want to just grab anything because remember, for every Google there's a Wikipedia, and I go there on Wikipedia and put anything up there. I can say the world gonna end tomorrow. Click, it's up there. People are gonna look at it. Not saying it's true. Google, they fact check, and Reddit has a lot of users on there. So I personally think, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead with your bad self, Google. Pay the $60 million. Do what you got to do.
So about Google, Google's over here fact checking stuff, but who's fact checking Google? Google choosing
I ain't got the answers,
what they think the truth is.
Yeah.
Are they really? Because I've been listening to some articles today about them shadow banning some stuff.
You know, it's funny. I was just thinking about that. I was just thinking about that.
To wash away some pieces of history that they don't see fit for this corporate conglomerate digital takeover they're trying to do. That's what it is.
I mean, I'm just gonna say it. You implying, because news was coming out lately that
damn well what I'm implying.
Elon Musk said that Google is hiding search results if you Google Trump. I haven't. Matter of fact, you know what? Let me test that to see if that's going on. Because I read it. I'm pretty sure that's what you're implying. Is that right there? Let me go to Google right now and Google Trump and see what happens.
Yeah, I had somebody reach out to me today. They said, "Hey, did you get shadow banned?" I said, "No, to be honest with you, I'm working, my friend. I got shadow banned on Facebook right now." But I posted some stuff, and they were taking things down. And then
as the kids say, that's
Google,
cap.
sorry,
I just
Facebook,
Googled Trump and he came up no problem.
No, the assassination attempt, not Trump himself, the assassination. They were hiding pieces of information. Like the FBI came out and said, yes, Trump did in fact get hit by a bullet, because people were trying to say, oh, it was shrapnel from a screen. No, it wasn't. It was a bullet.
Crazy.
They were that's like the stuff that they were trying to hide. So I'm like, no, you can't nitpick. Don't be nitpicking.
Right.
Just put.
We
just
actually
put
have
the
a
truth
guest
out there
coming on soon that was saying that. So he's gonna be able to come and speak his piece, because he was coming at us on Facebook.
Wait a minute, who's that?
My boy Fetty. He's coming soon. Yeah.
Okay.
But good point. No, go ahead.
I've never been shot. Thank you, God.
Same. Yeah, I've been shot at.
You know, I ain't never been shot. I don't know what it feel like. I don't know what it looked like, but I seen that bullet and I'm like, that's crazy. So whatever people saying out there is what it's like. Again, I always say this: respect the seat that they're in.
Yep.
You know, it's unfortunate that people are like, well, did he get shot? He didn't get. Look, man, somebody died there, and they didn't die from an invisible bullet. The bullet was shot, and that person there, I don't know his name, but
Corey Compatore.
Died.
His name is Corey Compatore.
Corey Compatore.
That man died protecting his wife and his daughter.
Hey, that's honorable. That's a man right there.
So he was protecting.
Knew and heard it. He was protecting. Yep, his daughter came out with a statement. You can't see, but I got goosebumps. It was beautiful, the statement that she put out, and how patriotic it was, and how much he loved this country. I think he was like a fire marshal or something up there, fire chief or something.
Definitely
he was up there. He had retired. He loved his country. He served in that area, not necessarily for the military, but he still served his community well, and that's how he lived his life. And
more importantly, he served his family. I mean, community's cool. He served his family, man. Hey, I tip my hat to him.
Those are men. Those are men I want to see coming out the woodworks. It's men like that who are willing to lay their life down for the ones you love. That's real love right there.
Yep.
That's love.
Yep. And again, this is let's wrap up the whole Reddit thing. So again, Reddit's making Google pay. Google paid their $60 million fee, so they paid to play, right? They're gonna get access to data. But we were talking about unauthorized access to data. Another thing that happened last week was some people got some unauthorized access to some court data out there your way in LA, Corey. What's up with that?
Man, so LA County courts got hacked. And that's unfortunate because of the fact that there's a lot of things going on in LA. In LA, evictions, remote appearances, electronic recording, jury duty, restraint orders, electric filings, the call center, the court website, and even here recently, Governor Newsom did a homeless encampment suite. And if all the people, because before they did the encampment suite, they were able to get people housing, but now their information is in jeopardy because it got hacked. So this is definitely leading into the era of cybersecurity. And I mean, I know we talk about a lot of things in tech, and we talk about like what to be safe, but LA County may need some of you guys' services, Bobby. You may need to reach out to them. You may have to take a LA visit.
Hey, they gonna have to have the budget for that, man. Cybersecurity talent ain't cheap now.
I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm in a program where they fast track small businesses for all kind of needs so they can get contracts, and cybersecurity is one of them. It's on their high priority. So
I will let the team know, because that's what we specialize in. So
Yeah.
I'll pass it. We're gonna have to offline, because we can. Yeah, because we are.
Yes.
The Mountain Technological and Industrial is a native 8A corporation under the SBA. So yeah, we could talk. Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
so
yeah.
let's stay on this topic for a second. Let's stay on this topic.
Oh
So,
no, we here.
LA County, right? This is City of Los Angeles, right? All these
City of
movie
Los
stars.
Angeles and
County.
the county.
Okay,
So
so
City
where's
of Los
the
Angeles
county?
is in LA County.
Yeah,
It's
that's
LA
what
County,
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
LA County.
Mhm.
Why would somebody want to hack LA County specifically? Why LA County?
I mean, if I got sentencing coming up, I might not want that. I
know
might
it.
want that purge from the system. I'm just saying.
Exactly. Exactly. So
Oh,
I'm
There you
thinking,
go. Good question.
those are where all of the movie stars are. Here's where all your celebrities are, right?
There you go.
So
Yep.
celebrities
Yep.
we're not stupid. We can see how much people are worth. Google.
Yeah.
Mm.
Google.
Bobby over here
Yeah.
worth 50
Yeah, I mean,
grand.
yeah.
Not playing. I'm worth more dead than alive. Don't tell my husband that.
Not yeah, right.
You just put it out there, and the whole world
Whole
knows
world.
now, man.
Bobby gonna fake her
I
death.
could care less.
She
I
gonna
could
be
care less.
She gonna be in Cuba.
With Tupac.
I wish you would. Go look at my front gate right now. Because get onto my property. I live on the country.
Hey, don't
There's a sign on my
he
gate.
is a soldier. So.
Get
Yeah.
right with Jesus before you walk through these doors. Because if you play, you're gonna meet him. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm
You
saying.
gonna meet him face to face.
Y'all don't want that smoke. Y'all don't want that
It's gonna
smoke.
be early.
Yeah,
Early.
man.
No, you don't want that
You
smoke.
gonna-
But you
what's
got
the
a
whole
good
reason?
point though.
LA County,
got a
where all
good
the
point. I
celebrities are. If they got hacked,
Well,
then they got some hot sentencing coming up. That's what I'm saying. They got charges brought up against them, and then all of a sudden they get hacked. I'm like, oh no, where did these charges go? Oh my god, they're
Are there
gone.
any celebrities going in court right now? I would
Huh.
maybe start there. You bring up a really good point. I didn't even think about that.
yeah. There's a
But who knows?
Who
knows? There might not be even
There's a
in the
lot
news.
of things going on.
Yeah.
This is true.
My guess is someone's trying to stop something. Don't know what. I mean, you always you gotta think like a wolf to catch a wolf, right? So if I'm a wolf and I'm going through one of these like proceedings, I'm trying to stop that. Maybe you lost something, right? Because if I can make sure you lost that data, I'm not going to jail.
The other part-
Or being evicted. Because I know LA has been having an issue, with rent is too damn high.
Yeah, they fixed that though. They
fixed
fixed that
that?
to the point now where one, you can't back then you would have to pay at least your first month, your last month, and half of your second month to move in. So now they no longer require that. They only require
That's
you to
good.
be able to, as a deposit, to
good.
pay 1 month. They fixed that situation.
Mhm.
But there has been what I'm thinking is, with all these documents getting hacked, there's been a string of burglaries. I'm sorry, I'm trying to say burglaries.
You got it.
Burglaries.
I am hungry. Y'all talking about barbecue earlier. I'm like, man.
But there's been a string of burglaries in Los Angeles in the high part, like in Calabasas, Bel Air,
Oh wow.
Hollywood, and I'm not sure if in some of these places the financial stuff didn't get touched. They were just going after specific items. Some one guy he lost over $1 million worth of watches. Now, if you got $1 million worth of watches at your house, that means that you got a lot more. You're worth a lot more or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then some people, their house just got vandalized, and that's it. So, it's not just about getting hacked. I'm thinking people are getting locations and finding out, oh, this person, he's a multi-billionaire from tech stocks, right? And he lives in Calabasas. Let's go ahead and see. Oh, he's taking a flight because he's going on vacation. It's summertime. He's not going to be home. Boom. B&E, breaking and entering.
So you talking about maybe it may not be Los Angeles being a target, but they may be looking for secondary targets. Like, who can I find through you?
Yeah.
That I can see that, man. I think it's a mixed bag. It could be a little bit of everything. Maybe someone's trying to prevent something from happening to them. They're trying to find something useful that they could use. Or now I gotta be the conspiracy theorist, which I normally don't do.
Put it on, brother. Put
Hey
it
man,
on.
it's a major city in Los Angeles, man. And if there's gonna be a huge attack, I'm filling it out. I'm doing my reconnaissance to see, okay, can I take down in LA? Can I take down in New York? Can I take down Chicago? Can I take down in Oakland, which they've been hit a couple of times? Can I take down Cleveland? They got hit recently, right? I'm just saying.
Follow the money. Follow the money.
Yep.
Follow the money.
There's money. There's money there.
I could think I think it could be a mix of everything. But what's crazy to me was when all this happened, because this happened the same day the CrowdStrike outage happened, and they were thinking it was CrowdStrike. Imagine that.
Wow.
You're thinking, okay, when this CrowdStrike update gets pushed out, we'll be good to go. Nah, they weren't good to go. Turned out it was an actual ransomware attack.
Yeah, that's a cover.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I didn't even think about that.
Yep. And that's sad because there's some people in LA that, you know, say for instance, they got pulled over and they have to go to jail. Well, not jail, but go to a holding containment, right?
Right.
And all this stuff get hacked and they get wiped out. And I bet you they use CrowdStrike just for data information. They sitting up in there longer than they have to be.
Oh yeah, because if you had a release date and it got mixed up in that, that sucks.
You can't get time back.
You cannot get time back. Yeah, that's definitely a very unfortunate side effect of what happened with that, man. But hey man, be on your P's and Q's, man, and keep your head on the swivel, because like we always say, anybody can't get it, even the court system.
Yeah.
Hey man,
but know what?
What's up?
Look, California got touched by Uber. Ooh. Yeah, man.
Ooh.
Looks like Uber, Lyft, and others win case against California.
Good for
them.
And
what was going on with that?
Well, here's the thing. I know this because I'm out here, right? I'm in California. A lot of people were trying to go ahead and instead of getting like tips in there, they were trying to get an hourly wage going on for drivers, and then I believe they were trying to like say, okay, well, the time that you're driving to a client cuts out of the amount that you make from like Lyft or Instacart, because there's a lot of what is it called, ride shares companies, all that. So I'm thinking that's what they're pretty much trying to hit on it. Yeah, ruling on gig drivers. There you go. Talk to me.
Let's go ahead and play that.
You had the video. Why you got me saying all this stuff?
Uber and Lyft.
Yes, the state Supreme Court unanimously upheld a law that allows gig companies to classify their drivers as independent contractors. NBC Bay Area's Christy Smith shows us what that means for you.
In San Francisco, Uber and Lyft drivers were picking up and dropping off riders on the day of a long-awaited decision from the California Supreme Court. It upheld a voter-approved law that let the companies operate the way they always have, treating drivers as independent contractors rather than employees.
In effect, for the most part, this proposition has been in effect since it was passed in 2020. So it's not going to dramatically change what these workers have been living with.
David Levine is a professor of law at the University of California College of the Law, San Francisco, and says it's been a long road for Proposition 22, passed in 2020.
So they had drivers who said, we don't want to be classified as independent contractors because they, in their perception, it harms them because they don't have access to a number of benefits that an employee has. And in this particular case, the issue was access to workers' compensation benefits.
The argument centered around whether Prop 22 violates part of the state constitution, but the justices all agreed it does not.
So here's the interesting thing that I saw about this, right? Because my question was, this is coming down to an entity is saying that the drivers want more benefits, right? They need like some sort of employee status to get benefits, right? And I was looking at this, and it was actually the Service Employees International Union in California, right? They were the ones doing a big push for this. Because my thing was, who's asking for that? Is it the actual drivers, or is it actual the union, right? The union. And then
that's what I was
hanging around you folks, you guys got me thinking about conspiracies now, right?
Put your hat on.
What do the union stand to gain if it actually went another way? What do they get out of this?
You tell me, brother. Because
They
I
get
know
union dues.
Yeah.
They get union dues. Think about that. And because I was at first, I'm like, why would they want this? Because a lot of people that do gig economy type work, Uber, Lyft, stuff like that, right? They're doing it because they need flexibility, right? They want that 1099 status. If I don't feel like working, I'm not working, right?
Right.
I need that flexibility. But you bring in a union like the Service Employees International Union. Hey, you guys need to be able to have benefits.
Yeah.
You guys need workers' compensation. Let us push for you to get some type of employee status. And you know what? Once that goes through, just go ahead and pay us our annual membership dues.
Ooh, that's good. That's good. But here's the thing: will that then provide them insurance when they're, worker? That means they got to qualify for workers' comp insurance, right?
It depends.
So in the event if they crash their car, because there's been a lot of people I know that's been in accidents in Ubers, right? So is the vehicle covering the driver? Is the driver and the passenger covered? Do you pay out on that type of policy? Do you got to get different? You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of a lot of variables.
There's layers going on, right? Because there is the conversation of health insurance, paid sick leave, right? And here's the thing, though, right? Everybody wants to be a boss till it's time to be a boss. Bobby, you own businesses. Corey, you own businesses. I got a couple of myself too, right? The thing is, if you want that flexibility of being a 1099, then you also got to pick up that responsibility of getting your own health insurance coverage, right? Having your own nest egg for when you need to take time off, right? So I'm looking at it. If it's the drivers pushing for it, it's one of those things. It's like, are you trying to have your cake and eat it too? Because you get one or the other, right? If you want insurance and benefits and stuff like that, you may have to give up that flexibility. And that's
there's no reward
an employee.
without that risk.
There you go. So which one is it?
No
Do
risk,
you
no
want to be your own boss, or do you want that flexibility? If it's coming from the driver's perspective, so I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit of that. Maybe it's the union, like, ooh, we can come up off this gig economy, because the conversation is how the gig economy is starting to evolve. And the director of the Service Employees and International Union in California, Tia Orr, she's saying we won't stop fighting to win greater workplace rights and protections on the job. And she's talking specifically for gig economy type workers. So
no, they candy coat that.
I think they're trying to get a piece of that pie.
But they're gonna try and get a piece of that pie. Exactly. They're not gonna be worth
That's
their
what I'm
time.
thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm like, wait a second. If I'm doing Uber part time, right, and I'm bringing home, let's say $150 a week, and I gotta pay my union dues, right? Say out of every little check is $30, I'm only bringing home $120. That's not very much money. Am I
and that money could have went towards an insurance policy. Yep. Everybody's trying to get their piece, man.
They want to get their cut.
Yeah, man. So one thing before we close this off, in the UK, Uber drivers, they have an employment status that entitles them to vacation pay and pension contributions.
Wow.
So Uber and all the gig economy companies, they've been facing this not just here in the US, but all over the world, right? So I think it comes down to what's that happy medium. What do the drivers want? What does the company want? How do we meet in the middle? I ain't got that. I don't know, but I think this conversation is going to keep going. But I think it's time to go off script, sir.
Going off script, man. I was ready to talk about LinkedIn, but it's all good. You already know what we're about to do.
Oh, we could bring it back. Let's go off script for a little bit first, though.
For sure. Well, me and Geronimo talked about this about 2 months ago. We were talking about how AI is going to be a key element into the future. Well, I didn't know it was going to be this soon with the manipulating. But I said it. I'm going to do my Keith Lee. I said it. Let's talk about it and rate it 1 to 10. A manipulated video shared by Musk mimics Harris' voice, raising concerns about AI and politics.
We called it. Hey, someone's watching, technically speaking, because we called it. We said we called a couple of things. We called this out for real, for real. I'm shocked that Elon Musk did it. The way he did it, I don't know, man. What do you think about that, Bobby? I want you to open this up. Have you seen that video?
I've heard about the video. It was actually shared, and a friend of mine told me about it. I told him I'd look at it a little bit later. I haven't got an opportunity to look at it. However, when AI is able to mimic your voice, that should scare the daylights out of everybody. Because if you have a home security system, right? You got a home security system. My old home security system would recognize my voice when I would say my certain password should something happen. And you get a device mimicking your voice. Y'all, that's opening the floodgates of bad things, you know?
Yeah, it is. And like I said, there's certain things that, and Elon Musk, let's be honest, Elon Musk got a lot of money, right? But he's I think he's the second richest man in the world right now.
I believe something like that.
So he can afford to do certain things, and he's really trying to F up Kamala Harris campaign with this. And I'm like,
why is that?
Because of the fact that he's contributed, I believe, $45 million every month towards the election.
Well, he came back and backed out of that. He said he was backing out of that. That was last week. We got cut off early, so we didn't get a chance to talk about it.
Okay, my bad. But I mean,
it's all good.
I'm about to say he's protecting his investment. That's what I was going to say. But now that we have that new information,
because now see, I'm hearing what you're saying. You're saying he's protecting his investment, but it's actually the Democrats that are pushing the electric vehicle mandates.
Right. And I wasn't talking about that investment. I was talking about the fact that he was endorsing Trump with $45 million every month until
hear me out though. Because even that didn't make sense to me, because Trump is saying he's going to end the electric vehicle mandate. That's not good for Tesla.
It's not. But
now, if there's mandates that you got to have an electric vehicle in your state by 2030 or 2035, like in Washington and California and other states, right?
Yeah.
Who stands to gain from that? Who's the number one electric vehicle maker?
Elon Musk.
That's what I'm saying.
There's Fisker out there. There's quite a few of them, but Elon Musk is the number one. He's the number one.
And who owns the electric vehicle charging infrastructure?
Tesla.
Musk.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it didn't make sense to me. Why would you invest so much to support the party that's trying to basically make it more challenging for one of your businesses to grow significantly, right? That didn't make sense to me. It's actually the Democrats that are pushing their green, initiative, which is actually the green initiative bills, right? That's actually beneficial to his company. To me, the math ain't mathing, man.
It ain't mathing. I don't know. I'm like, why Elon Musk why he doing this? Because he did the Matrix thing with Biden before Biden jumped out, where he was like Neo, and Biden was one of the other characters, and he was doing a fighting karate. I was like, this is pretty dope for AI, but come on now, let's
So we know Elon as the we know Elon is the owner of Tesla, right? He's the owner of X.
Yeah.
But when people like that have money, they are
and SpaceX.
They're in SpaceX too, right? So these people are like secret investors. Those are the three that we know of that we associate Elon Musk with. But what do we don't know? What pools is he in? Back to the pools, Lord. Back to the pools. What are these areas that he's investing?
You gonna get your pool, girl.
By the grace of God, man. But where's he investing in that we don't know about? We don't see those backdoor deals. So in the front, it don't look like it makes sense, but on the back end, it probably does, because there's other things happening. You know what I mean? You follow the money, figure that out. But there's a bunch of things I think we don't know. None of us low folk are privy to some of this.
You make a good point. Now, my initial thought was, it's just, I get it, right? You support your party, but do you gotta disrespect the other party like that, right? Because if the shoe was on the other foot, right? it'd be mass chaos with the Trump trains around the world. Like, you're not gonna disrespect Trump like that, right? Guaranteed it. If he did something like that for Trump, y'all not gonna go for that. You know what I mean? Like, why can't we be? Why do we got to hit under the belt? Is what I'm asking. Because if that happened to Trump,
was very distasteful.
Very disrespectful. Because he was leaning on the whole DEI hire narrative, which again, very disrespectful. Because if you said that about my mama, I'm coming after you. I don't care what job it is, right? If they said that about you, Bobby, would you appreciate it if you came in somewhere and it was like, oh, they only hired you because you DEI hire. They only got you in because of affirmative action.
The hell they did. The hell they did. If I got hired, it's because of my whole badassness, and not because of my gender. If you like me, and I would hate that. I'll be honest with you. I would hate that if somebody's like, well, we're only going to hire you because you're a woman. Listen, I ain't the woman for the job. Then don't talk to me.
Right.
If you're not going to hire me because I got the skills to be a perfect asset for your company, don't come at me that way, because I'm gonna go find a company who's gonna see the value in me. But you got to know the value in you in order to even come at somebody like that. If somebody told you, well, you're just checking the block. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna check your block. You're gonna find women who do and who will bow down to that block. I won't be one of them. Not me.
Not I.
So then why is it okay to tell someone that, hey, you just got in that office because you was checking the box? I don't think that's cool, man. Like, hey, do on the others that you want done to yourself.
Done unto you.
There you go. There you go. That's what I'm saying.
Talk.
Like, which is crazy for me, right? Because and we have a couple of Christians on here, right? So it fascinates
I
me.
am one of them.
Yeah. It fascinates me, right? Oh, that's why I put that out there, right? It fascinates me that, you know, with those that supposedly have Christian values, kind of ignore those values in times like this, when they project that type of energy to someone like a Kamala or even Trump, right? Because no one deserves to be disrespected. I think that's what gives me the benefit to come after both parties, because I'm in the middle. I'm neutral, right?
Right.
I don't support any party faithfully, blindly. My vote has to be earned, right? And when I see activities like that from the Republican side, I'm like, dude, y'all cool with just disrespecting people like that? That's not gonna earn my vote, right? Yeah. I'm open to see what the Democrats are talking about, because they're not being as disrespectful. Go ahead, Bobby.
All right, so let's talk about Kamala Harris for a second. So she was previously a senator, and she was like a senator. DA in San Francisco and stuff. We talked about her pretending to play the. She was
district attorney for California.
I know she was a DA, but I thought it was in San Francisco.
Yeah, San Francisco, California.
I thought it was. I mean, yes,
Sacramento was the capital.
California. But I could have sworn it was in San Francisco, right? And so she talked about, you know, putting away people for little amounts of weed and stuff, and priding herself in building her persona off of this, you know, hardcore wannabe badass individual who put folks away for very little things, right? So nowadays she probably wouldn't do that again. However, when you have women, sometimes women can be evil, they can be manipulative, and there are people who came against her. There are people who came against her when it came to when the DNC took place, and they had to kind of be put up on stage, right, and kind of fight amongst each other who was going to be the Democratic nominee. Biden was talking mad crap about her, saying, no, I would never want to work with her. I would never choose her. But I'm like, why not? What do you know, right, Joseph, that the rest of us don't know? And then you had that other guy too, Mr. Brown. I forgot what that man's first name was. Willie Brown? It was Willie Brown.
That sound about right.
That man too came after. There was some stuff happening too. Some photos popped up. Some things came up about her. And listen, when you do some shady stuff to get into some higher places, you will lose respect. You will. You lose
respect. Like you're talking about Trump, because he's done a lot of shady stuff.
Yeah, maybe.
I couldn't help it.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with some of the shady stuff being done, because the bullshit that they're putting against him right now is the same shit everybody else does in the elite area. But all of a sudden, Trump has to be convicted for it. Get the fuck out of here. Sorry, get the hell out of here with that.
So it's
I'm
okay
not even
for
trying to hear
anybody
that.
to be shady, because I mean, no one's clean here. If that's the, because I'm not
Yeah, no, you're correct.
trying to defend anybody. Because
Nobody is clean. Nobody's clean.
if she
Nobody.
is shady, I don't know her. I don't know much about her, to be honest, right? But if she is shady, well, so is he,
Oh yeah.
and we know that.
Everybody's got some sin in their heart. Every single person does. None of us are perfect, and we live like that. And that's not a reason to justify anything that people are doing wrong ever. Please
So
don't.
in that regard, we're playing on an
misunderstand me
equal playing
saying that.
field. Then you
Yes.
shady, you
Listen,
shady. So we
you
can
shady. All of y'all
we
asses
check
are
that box.
shady.
We check the shady box.
Well, here's the
Check the
thing.
shady
And
box.
Slim Shady
You
just
could
put out
be
a
a
new album.
politician.
Hey, because I got some shady.
Can a man in the middle can a man in the middle say something? Let the man in the
Go
middle
ahead,
say
Corey.
something. All right.
Go ahead, Corey.
Okay. So, everybody has a past, right?
Yeah.
Everybody has some form of things that they're not happy with, even if it's done in the public. Kamala has a past. Trump has a past. Everybody has a past. The thing about it is, besides your past, what are you doing now? Okay, we can go
Good
say
point.
what
Good
she
point.
did, what he did, but what are you doing now? Are you trying to bring division, or are you trying to bring unity? That's my thing. It's no. I look at people saying, well, bad stuff about Kamala Harris and bad stuff about Donald Trump. And my problem with everybody who's saying that, one of these individuals will be our president.
Yeah, good point.
And
hey, you know
whatever
what? Let's talk about that for a second. Let's talk about that.
Go ahead.
What do y'all think about in 2019 Kamala Harris mentioned us being the United States going back to paper ballots because there's too much digital stuff happening with election interference and us just moving back to paper ballots. I like that. When she came out, I was like, "Yes, ma'am. Let's do that. Let's take the digital age out of what we're doing to prevent any BS and chaos happening from our any cyber attempts from here on out, but that means you have to go back to paper, right? So what do y'all think about that? Do you think it would move us?
Yeah, I'm torn with that.
No, you're absolutely
with
correct.
that because I believe in the digital way because it's efficient, and if I can vote from home and I ain't got to go drive somewhere, I'm gonna use that option. But I do also understand the threat that comes with that, right? Because we just talked about some cybersecurity breaches. The LA court system got hacked.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you're gonna listen. You're gonna have your people, your service members who are serving overseas. They're not gonna be able to be here to vote in paper. There's gonna be some,
good point.
Some individuals who are
once
gonna
before,
be who are gonna be exempt. You know what I mean? Exempt from that, and that's gonna be like your older folks who are in maybe nursing homes, but they still stay. They stay abreast of what's happening in the United States. They still want to vote, but maybe they can't actually physically get out to do that. There's going to be some exemptions. So it's not like, oh, you don't get a voice. So don't misunderstand me. You're like, oh, you're not going to get a voice if you don't get out there and vote on a paper ballot. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying you leave so much room
I
for
think
error.
it's the less vulnerable option. I feel
It
that.
is.
I'm just lazy.
Let's see what the greater United States has to say.
That's a good question out there. What do y'all think? Do y'all prefer the paper ballots, or do you want to be able to do it online? Chime in the comments wherever you are: Facebook, Instagram, YouTube.
What I think will be, if we go back to paper ballots, I think the people will go out there to vote out of the passion of the people who represents their party. Am I right? So. What drives passion? Influence. Right? So if this person
emotion,
is
experience, everything.
Yeah. And if the people who are running for office are influencing you to vote, what are they pushing behind? Are they voting? Are they voting? Go vote this person because we don't want this person. Or they're saying vote for this person because in 2 to 3 years, the problem that we're having could potentially be solved. You see what I'm saying?
Good point.
It's not right now. All I'm seeing on both sides, don't vote for this person because we don't want this person in office. Don't vote for this person because we don't want this person in office. And the people who are the future voters, they're learning the wrong way how to vote.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I
agree with that.
100% before because of the fact
some of that starts in the home.
It does, but the problem is
some of that starts in the home. So go ahead.
I'm 43. I'm 43. Me and Geronimo same age. Bobby, I don't know.
Man, why you gotta call me out there, man? I could have passed for a smooth 38. Come on, man.
Yeah, but here's where I'm going at. Our generation have kids that will be potentially voting in the next generation. The next
I got 2 kids that can vote right now.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And my goal in life is never to sway my children to do something because I did it. I want them to know the reason why they're doing something.
Good point. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. And if they saying, well, if you got one party, and that's the reason why I don't call myself a Democrat. I don't call myself a Republican. I call myself that a person who prays and vote, because of the fact that I'm thinking not only for my family, but I'm also thinking about other families, because of the fact that being a man of God, I truly believe that we need to come together as a country, because there's a lot of other things that's happening that we're seeing biblical things just turning out. And I'm like, this is crazy. What if this whole, what if everything gets shut down? What if, Geronimo, you said it, the country hasn't been united since Bush was in office.
It hasn't.
You feel what I'm saying?
And it was unfortunate that it took a crisis for that to happen.
But now if we have a crisis happening now, when we have 2 parties that don't get along, what's going to happen?
Oh, you know what? You just triggered a question. Let's say there's another crisis like that. And I don't want that to happen, knock on wood, right? Which out of the 2 has the right mannerisms, the right charisma, the right package that can say what needs to be said to get us through a tragedy? Who has that out of the 2? Ladies first. I'm a gentleman. What do you think, Bobby?
Who do you think I'm gonna say? Who do you think I'm
assuming you're gonna say Trump.
You know it. I want somebody with some brass balls able to say, hey, this is what's up. This is what's up. You've come after our nation. We're gonna go at you full force. Sign me up. Keep me in the uniform. Let's do this.
What you think, Corey?
I do believe Trump will act in a retaliation way. I do believe Kamala do the same. The only thing about it is I don't know who would do it more swiftly. Like, real talk, let's think about it. When they killed excuse me, can't use that word. When they unalive Osama bin Laden.
You can't use the word kill? I'm confused.
YouTube will throttle your views if you use that. Yeah.
Really?
So I'm gonna edit that in the replay. It's all good. We good. This is a live stream. The replay won't have that. It'll be.
I know, right? But when they went after Osama bin Laden, that wasn't like broadly. We knew that he was a target, right? We knew he was a target. They went at it. They took care of him swiftly. We hear about it later.
After the fact, yeah.
After the fact. You know what I'm saying? The public. I mean, you guys are in the military, so you guys probably have more privy information.
I didn't know until after it happened.
Right. Yeah. My buddy who's a veteran, who's in the Army, and he was retired, and we was sitting there at a convention, and he was like, "Look at this, bro." I was like, "What?" He was like, I was like, "What?" And that was during the President Obama era. Yep. And I was like, okay. It was more than just don't talk about it. It was be about it.
He did that.
You feel what I'm saying? And I hopefully whoever gets in power do that, but not just talk about it, be about it when it comes to attacking our enemies. Let's talk about it and be about it, uniting this nation.
And that's what I don't think either one of them will be slow to take action. That's mandatory. I don't care who's in there. We expect you to take action. Right. And maybe I need to rephrase the question is, out of the 2, who could do the better job giving us hope? Now, I know Trump is going to take action and let them know I'm coming after you, but I don't know if he'll do a good job bringing us all together and giving us hope. I don't know that, because what I've seen the antics throughout the year, I haven't seen the actions and behavior of someone that can instill hope.
So, it's interesting.
It's my own personal opinion.
It's 2024. Trump was president from 2016 to 2020. We're not going to sit here and pretend like we have no idea how it's going to be when he's president, because we already knew. But when he was president, they were coming after him left and right. Versus saying, "Hey, okay, he's already in office. Let's work together. Let's work together to make sure that the people that got voted in, you don't have to like it, but let's work together. No, we're going to come at him, and we're going to try to figure this out, and we're going to push this on him, and we're going to try to get him impeached." And like, well, rather than pushing that BS, and then of course you had COVID happen. So it's like, the focus wasn't even on the American people. Let's focus on what good did happen, where there was successes at, where we got hope, where my family was doing great. Unfortunately, I know there's going to be always people that just aren't, and that's okay. But as a woman of God, I know where my hope comes from. I know where my faith lies. I know my Jehovah Jireh is a provider. I know He is. My hope and faith are in Jesus Christ. It's not in the government. Friends, right. If you're listening to this podcast, I'm gonna tell you that. I'm gonna take that quick 5 seconds to tell you, don't put hope in the government, because you know what? They're gonna let you down. They are. Yeah, the Democrats and the Republicans are gonna let you down.
I hear what you're saying. However, in those times of need, we need a leader that can help give us hope. The overall, just as a nation, because when things go, the best leaders in history, they always stepped up. The most recent one was Bush, who was able to instill hope and bring us together. He did that. You can't take that from him. I don't know to be honest, if Trump can do that, because boots on the ground, I'm still active duty, military. I never heard the conversation of unity, hope, none of that. There was so much bickering going on. Maybe it was because of what you said, right? But again, the influence, words matter. Maybe he could have used some words throughout his tenure that could have instilled hope in this nation for unity. I never saw that. Regardless, and maybe, go ahead. And that's just my own opinion as a voter whose votes is up to be earned, right? Because they don't have it. No party has my vote, right? I need to see someone that's gonna say, okay, I can see that if shit hits the fan, you're going to help this country come together and give us hope. Mm-hmm. Honestly, to be honest, my personal opinion, I think Harris is a better fit for that. And the reason why is when I saw her, and to be fair, originally I told you, Corey, I didn't think she had a chance at all, period. I did not think that she could be a counterbalance to Trump at all till I heard her speak. And I was like, ooh, wait 1 minute. This is actually pretty good. And just some of the things she was saying, even when she had the gumption to be like, you know what, I'll put my record against him. Come on. I was like, I like that.
But look,
go ahead.
I don't want to. There's something else that I want to get to, because it's the part where Trump tells Christian voters they won't have to vote anymore if he's elected in November.
I heard that, and I didn't understand.
I didn't understand that. But hold on, to close my thought on that though, I think Trump is the better out of the two. I mean, not Trump. I think Harris is the better out of the two. That if that need ever comes, can give that hope, and I'll leave it at that.
Got it. So, do you have it? Do you have the link that's in the doc that I sent you? Because I have the full video that I've seen him say. He said, you won't have to vote anymore. It's going to be better. And when you say that, and he also says, Christians, I need y'all to vote. I'm not a Christian, but my lovely Christians, it's going to be better. It's going to be good. This country was built on Christian principles, right?
Yeah. I got it on my phone.
Yeah. And
Corey, I got some questions for you.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
You are
before.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Right. So when he says that, everybody already throwing that myth about he's gonna be a dictator if he gets into office.
He never said that.
No, I didn't say he did. I said everybody's throwing that out there, saying that he's gonna be a dictator in office, and saying that you won't have to vote anymore.
It'll be that good. It was something like that. Yeah, it'll be so good you won't even have to vote anymore.
Yeah, and he was like, "We're gonna fix it," and like that kind of scares me when somebody says that. When somebody else that's not associated with his party is saying that he's
Yeah, I
gonna
don't
take
understand
away
what that means,
voting
to be
rights,
honest.
and then when the 2025, what is it, Project 2025, stating that they can eliminate the civil rights movement and voting. This is what I'm hearing. I haven't read it yet, but when I saw him say that, it kind of makes me nervous. And I'm like, even if that's the case, somebody in your party should have advised you not to say something like that, because it's like now you're playing on our Christianity to get your votes. It's like the integrity of the vote needs to be earned, not bought, not persuaded.
Fully
It needs to
agreed.
be earned. And again, Kamala has to earn mine too. Kamala has to earn mine.
Same.
Trump has to earn mine. Biden had to earn mine. Obama had to earn mine. Bush had to. Bush, yeah, we was able to vote in 2020. I mean, in 2000.
2000.
Yeah, 1999 is the year we turned 18.
Corey, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Let's, Geronimo, I'm not going to push you out. I do value your opinion, but I would like to hear what my brother Corey has to say. Corey, you are my brother.
See how it is. It's cool.
I've got a question. Hey, but I see you all the time. I went and gave you a hug this morning. I see you all the time. I'm gonna see you tomorrow morning too. Real quickly, can you tell me, if you were to vote for Kamala Harris in the booth, just you and the Lord and your voting ballot, right? And say you felt like she was the better candidate, which you, my friend, have the choice to do so, what you think is correct. Would you tell me what policies she supports that would align with the Word of God as you know it to be?
That's the problem. Because I'm still doing, I'm actively doing the research now, because I'm hearing things about she's looking to, you know what I'm saying, she turns her, I don't want to use the wrong word for this group of people.
Better be careful.
Yeah, no, for real, because he, like the Arab American community, she's looking to vote. I mean, she's turning to them, and it's like, okay, so just because she's black, she's trying to do that, or I don't see that. I'm
she's
not
part Indian too.
Right, she's part
It's like
Indian
she's
too.
mixed.
My thing, yeah. I'm not. I don't know. That's the reason why I tried not to get into politics. I pray. I wait till I hear from God, and then I move. I fast and pray, because of the fact that there's a lot of things that I don't see. You know what I'm saying? What I do see on the surface level is that she's getting a lot of support from a lot of people, celebrities. But they are also pushing that I'm vote for Kamala because we don't want Trump in office. But give me a reason. You feel what I'm saying? Give me a reason.
No, you're right.
Don't give me an
not
opinion.
a reason. Yeah.
And to be
You know
you're
fair,
right.
she hasn't
But when I-
published
when
her
I-
policies yet.
Right.
Because I'm
I mean,
looking
but
at Trump's
based off-
policies right now.
Yeah, but based off of what, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead.
We talk in our house. We too. So I didn't tell you on the last podcast. I'll tell you now. I have 6 kids. I have 5 girls and 1 boy. I am a girl mom. Not to dismiss my stepson. He's a fantastic individual. Very sweet kid. He's Christian. He's doing stuff in his church and everything. Good kid. But I value my girls, right? So I'm not just an example of a mom because my mom was a drug addict growing up. I didn't live in the best home, but I'm here to be the example, right, of what my kids are.
Right.
So we actually do talk about politics in the house. We talk about not just who to vote for, because that's going to change every 4 years. This is why we vote this way, because not so much of the person who's being presented to the public, we're looking at what policies they said they were going to run on, things that they support. And when we look at both sides of this, right, this side says this, okay, well, only half of this might line up with the word of God. We move over here, 8 of the 10 line up with the word of God. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be close. That's how I'm looking at those things. And so when I do pray, when I do fast, like, Lord, give me discernment, help me figure out,
Right.
what it is that you want. But at the end of the day, God's perfect will is going to come to pass regardless of how I pray and what
Regardless of the
I
fact.
do. It is. And
Yeah.
so you got to prepare your heart for what that's going to feel like, because at the 2020 election, I felt like there was a lot of stuff that went very wrong, that there was a lot of shady happenings going on in the 2020 election. And for a while, both my husband and I, we were just in this funk. We felt not just defeated. I felt very like there was a whole spirit of defeat happening around our home, but it was, you just have to be careful, because it began to infiltrate into my spiritual life. And so this is why I asked you what I did is Trump is not perfect. He is not by no means. Do I believe God can still use people? Absolutely, because you can't name a single perfect person in the Bible that he didn't use. You know what I mean? With the exception of Jesus, he was perfect, spotless
To be
lamb.
fair, if
but
I could jump in real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we do have more voters in this country that are not Christian. We have Hindus, we have Buddhists, we have Muslims, we have combination of different religions, right? Freedom of religion. That's one of the benefits of being in the US, right? So I would ask that same question for, our other brothers and sisters that practice different faiths. We have Native Americans like me. I'm Native. So I hold on to our Native practices and beliefs, right? So I would argue, right, to where maybe a Trump can appeal to the Christians, right? But there's more out there than Christians. You have Kamala Harris, who is part Indian. They have a couple of different religions. They're here too, right? So she can connect with them, because at the end of the day, it should always lead with policies, right? I believe that. I'm looking at Trump's right here. He has his posted Agenda 47, right? And that goes to something you said, Bobby. He's not even going after Project 2025. He has Agenda 47. Anyone could look that up. I'm waiting for Harris to post hers, because I'm going to read through them and compare them, right? And to be honest, I'm going off of what I feel is going to benefit me and my family and my community. That's all I care about. But there are other groups and believers of different faiths that you got to be able to connect to them too. So I'm wondering if he's pigeonholing himself to just the Christian community, to where maybe Kamala can appeal to Muslim, Hindu, etc., right? She's also a woman of mixed faith or mixed ethnicities, and she's also someone that comes from a family of immigrants. These are so many different connections she could make, to where I don't know if Trump could make that connection. Policies aside, right? Again, because it should lead with the policies. Well, one thing I don't hear about too often, you two did a good job tonight talking about policies, but a lot of other conversations that come to voting, I don't hear that often. I'm not hearing a lot of people say, go read the policies. Agenda 47 on Trump's website right now is where you could go read his policies right now, waiting for Harris to push hers out right there. Read the policy. Read the policies. Don't vote just because Trump got a nice red tie. That is a dope tie he wears, by the way. Don't do that.
I like red tie. Red's my favorite color.
Read.
Yeah, Corey, you mentioned Project 2025, and there were people trying to associate anybody who was going to vote for Trump with Project 2025. And I looked into that, and I was like, no, this is some BS. I was like,
that's a bad policy. That is a bad policy.
I don't personally think that. And he ended up coming out making a statement saying he had nothing to do with that. And of course,
he said
people were trying to push. He came out with a statement saying that had nothing to do with him. He was not supporting that. He did not endorse that. Those were independent people creating something and trying to tie him to it. And he said, no, that's got nothing to do with
me.
So
let's clear that up now. Agenda 47 is his policy, just so we don't go into staying stuck in the past. Right now, Agenda 47 on his website, you can read his policies. We got a comment from IG on Genevieve. She supports us all the time. She said, our government needs spirituality to guide us through these dark times, regardless of the specific religion. I agree with that 100%. Now, to get to the nitty gritty, who can connect with the most people? That's the question I have for y'all and anyone online, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. who can connect with the most people? Because again, I'm one of the ones you really got to earn my. I'm a free agent, if you will. I'm not
Free
Democrat.
agents,
I'm not
baby.
Republican. I'm a free agent. Who can connect with me and people like me? You know what I'm saying? That I think that's really policies aside, who can connect with us? Because there's a bunch of us out there that's like, I don't know. Because on one hand, I like what Trump is saying in his Agenda 47, right? I want that border closed. Right? But on the other hand, I haven't seen the policy, but Kamala speaks to it is, I want our women in our country to have the right to choose what they want to do to their own bodies, right? I don't think the government should have the right to tell a woman what she can and cannot do to her body. Shake your head if you want to. Last time the government got a chance to control bodies is when black people were slaves. I'm putting that out there. That's too close to slavery for me. For the government to have the authority and the right for people to tell people what they can do with their body. I don't like that because now we're regressing.
We talked about this when Corey wasn't with us, and the only thing that I had told Geronimo, the government does not belong in the hospital room. They do not belong in a room with a doctor and a patient. While he knows, because of my faith, I do not agree with the pro-choice movement, because when the pro-choice movement came about, it was to get rid of black people. Let's not pretend and sugarcoat that. Let's not pretend like we didn't know what eugenics was when Margaret Sanger was trying to push abortion in black communities. That's not cool. That's not cool at all.
Right.
And so...
Well, I believe in freedom of choice. So that's going back to the question, right? Who can connect with me to get my vote? But for those of us that don't believe in the Bible, that doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? And there's others who have different beliefs. So yeah, you that don't work on me. So you gotta again, how does it how does it impact people who have different beliefs though? You know what I'm saying? Like I think what it comes down to is read the policies and go for who's best for you, right? So and both of them are gonna have their job cut out to try to get the undecided, because I'm that undecided and I'm speaking for us. You got to get my attention. You got to get me to trust me, man.
But what you and Bobby are saying is the same thing when it comes to that part.
So I haven't even gotten into what I really wanted to tell y'all about the whole doctor issue.
Go ahead.
And you're the guest. Excuse us. Excuse us.
Listen
Go
to
ahead.
me before we get misunderstood. When we're talking about the abortion issue, what I don't support is women using abortion as birth control. There are women that go in and will see their OBGYN 4 times in 6 months. That does so much damage to your female parts. You can't honestly think that's okay. You can't. Where's your morals, right? But that aside, there are going to be times where, because I talked to my obstetrician about this when I was pregnant with my daughter. I have a 5-year-old. Her name is Mercy Joy. My hope is that my daughter will be merciful to people, even those who don't deserve it. So I named her Mercy because that's what I want her to spread, and her middle name is Joy, after my grandma. Anyways, when I was pregnant with Mercy, I had concerns because I started having complications with Mercy. And I asked my doctor one day, I asked her, I said, would you abort a baby? And she says, listen to me. She says, I will not terminate a healthy pregnancy. I do not recommend it at all. And I'm not talking about my baby. Let's just be honest. I was not talking about my baby. I would never do that. But she said that there are times where it is so difficult because they're attached to your placenta. I'm going to get into some anatomy for a second. They're attached to that sac, which keeps that baby alive while they're forming in the womb. Babies will form in the womb without major organs they need to live outside of the body. Okay? That's what I'm saying. There's a gray area. We can't push all of abortion under this one umbrella, because that's not it. Because I guarantee you, if I was sitting in a room with my doctor and my husband, and she tells me, Mija, like she would call me, she's, Mija, if you go forward with this pregnancy, you will die. Guess what? My life is important and we can have another baby. My husband would say, no, I'm sorry. That goes, government does not need to be inside those 4 walls. They don't. So that's the only gray area that I'm gonna touch on, because it is a gray area, because not every single pregnancy is the same. It's not.
Yeah, and for me, I'm just a simple on the service type of guy. I believe that choice to be with the woman. It's like Tupac said, man.
because you know what, it takes two to make a baby. I firmly believe father has a choice too. If father wants that baby, that daddy has rights. And I know
Right.
there's some women out there talking about my body, my choice. I don't want to hear that because that's a whole nother set of DNA building inside of your body. You,
And
ma'am,
inside
are
your body.
Yeah.
you are
And to
a
be
vessel.
fair,
It is our
I
job to
may
take
have
care of
a
our people, to take care of our bodies. We have a
Yeah.
choice to who we let inside of our bed.
this is
And
true.
I'm not talking about rape.
However,
I'm not talking about rape.
even if I have a choice and I'm like, hey, I believe we should do XYZ. At the end of the day, I can't stop you or make you do anything. So the final deciding factor is gonna be the woman. Because I can't.
Yeah.
There's nothing especially if you grown ass woman. I can't make you do anything or stop you from doing anything. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's gonna come down to the woman, and I believe that should be the woman's choice. That's all.
So
That's it. But I
abortion
don't want to get too deep into that
matter.
because the main point was it's gonna come down to each party is gonna have to connect with the undecided, because your faithful Republicans are gonna vote for the Republicans, your faithful Democrats are gonna vote for the Democrats. What are you gonna do to get our vote? Because we're the ones in the middle. I don't give a damn about none of y'all. I have no loyalty to either one of y'all. What you gonna do to get my vote? And I'll close it on that. You made a lot of good points, Bobby, but my main point was, what are you gonna do to get our votes? How are you gonna connect with us?
Who's gonna save me the most money at the end of the day? You. Let's talk for a second. We talk about families and stuff.
Oh, we already know Republicans. That's what they about.
So like I want to know where you saving money, because the Democrat Party is not the party of your grandfather anymore. This is not the JFK Democrats. Our Democrats have gone so far left that I'm like, I'm sorry, you've lost a large amount of the population in support because there's some policies being pushed. I don't believe men belong in women's restrooms. I don't believe they're able to go in there with my 5-year-old and my 8-year-old and pretend to put on a skirt and be this person. If you want to, fine, still go to the men's restroom. Like, we're not going to play that game because there's too many psychos and wackos who can put on a dress and call it one thing. And I'm sorry, I don't think our women and our girls deserve that. I don't. That's not fair.
True.
Yeah, it's not.
That ain't
Mental
fair.
illness is real, and I'm not just talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people out there are predators. And like as a father of 2 daughters and 1 son, you know what I'm saying? Please.
I always have to be on guard when I'm in public. I swear, no, I'm serious. I have pretty kids. I'm not, listen, I ain't even biased. I have pretty kids. I do.
You're not supposed to bias. They're your babies.
Hey, they're your babies, man, and your kids.
I have very beautiful daughters, and I've had people come up to me and be like, "Oh my God, your kids." I'm like, I swear, if you touch a hair on their head, I'm willing to go to jail today, baby. Don't play.
Oh, it's going
Don't
down.
play.
It's going
Keep
down.
them safe, and I will take you out, because I know that there's people out there who are not watching their children and just kind of let them go astray into the world. That's not going to be me. I'm gonna be that strict mom. I'm gonna be a B if I have to.
Yeah, no, and you should, because of the fact that when they get older, because if you do what you're supposed to do, like you are doing, they will grow older and respect the fact that you were hard on them in the early ages to protect them from the evil that's out there.
Yep.
That's what I would like our presidents or our people who are running for office. What are you going to do about sex trafficking? What are you going to do about mental health? What are you going to do? If you get answers to that and you got a solution mapped out to start helping these people, you know
what are you going to do to help our people get out of poverty in different communities?
There we go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
How are you going to help people get jobs?
Let's talk about that, not to talk about, I don't want to vote for him because of this, and I don't want to vote for, I don't want to vote for him because of that. Let's talk about helping people.
How are we going to get people educated without going too far in debt? Like, that's the stuff that matters.
Yeah, man. Real talk. Real.
Nah.
Hey, was it you that I was talking to last Monday? I think it was last Monday or even the Monday before in the office. I was talking to somebody and I had asked them, it had to have been you. I had asked them, what was the first thing when Trump came into office in 2016? What was the first thing that he did?
That wasn't me. Because
wasn't you? Okay.
I remember that. I don't think that was me. And I don't remember what he did, to be honest.
I was talking to a few people. No, because I want to bring this up because Corey hit a good point. What's going to help me? What's going to, aside from closing our borders, what's going to help humanity, right? The first thing that he did was sign a bill for those who got caught sex trafficking. I can't remember if they got life in prison or the death penalty, but if you got caught sex trafficking, that was it for you. That was it. You were done for the rest of your life.
I'm with that.
And so
he had.
I I remember he had people next to him. He had kids next to him, and some moms and dads, like people I guess whose lives had been affected by the sex trafficking, had them be there to witness him sign this bill into law, and to make it to where if you were caught sex trafficking, that was it for you. There was no chances, nothing. Given nothing.
Yeah.
I said, okay,
I love that.
That's being about action when you're not talking about it, but you're being about it by the first thing that you see what's affecting your community and the country, sex trafficking. And if there wasn't a need for that perversion in this country, there would be no need for trafficking to begin with. We got to close our borders, keep the sex trafficking out, keep the human child trafficking out of this country. There's no need for it. There's no need.
Agreed.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
No, regardless of side of the platform.
It's coming up on that time. I say we close this out with a lighter topic on off script, and then
I was just about to say the same thing. I was just about to say the same thing. No matter what side of the aisle we all land on, we can all agree on food. So I was going to ask y'all, what's your favorite home cooked meal?
Oh, okay. We gonna look. I was gonna talk about Deadpool and Wolverine, but no, we can talk about some food. You know what I'm saying? You ain't saying nothing. Wolf or who? Deadpool what? Look.
How about let's do this? What's your favorite food to eat at the movie theaters? That'll be a good transition to the Deadpool. I gotta have my nachos with the jalapenos, man.
I was to say the nachos with the jalapenos, man. It has to be the Rico's. It's gotta be the Rico's.
Y'all got young digestive system. I can't do it. Ooh, last time I had a jalapeno, I was through. I'm like, where the Pepsi AC? I was sweating. But that nacho sauce and them pretzels, butter but no salt.
Man, that sounds good. I want some right now. I'm still hungry from when you were talking about barbecue, man.
Man, I got some burnt ends from Costco. I'm gonna try to see how good they are. But you know what I'm saying? But
so let's talk about that Deadpool, man. How'd this weekend go for Deadpool?
All right, so Deadpool and Wolverine scores mightier than expected. $211 million. Sixth biggest debut in box office history. You know what? I can't look. When I saw the movie, I was like, okay, I'm in the theater like, yeah, I'm clapping.
Marvel's
cheering,
back.
You know what I'm saying?
The studio's back.
You know what? I hope so, because of the fact that real talk, this movie was really good. They left out a lot of stuff, which I was like, come on, man, you gonna leave us like that? Like, have everybody on here seen it? Because I'm ready to do spoil alerts. I put up a spoil alert the night I came home from seeing it Thursday, but I don't want to do that.
It hasn't been a full week yet, so let's not spoiler alert. But it was damn good.
My husband does not like Ryan Reynolds at all. He doesn't like Ryan Reynolds, and which sucks because I've actually never seen a Deadpool movie. Last time I looked, I could have sworn there was like a whole ton of cussing.
It is. Yeah, you don't want to take the kids.
However, I will tell you for a fact. We went last Tuesday. We went and watched the new movie Twisters. Twisters was very good.
Was it?
Twisters was very good.
That's a sequel from the 1990s
movie. No, this is a whole nother.
Oh, wow.
No, it's not.
I thought it was.
It's not a sequel. It's a whole nother story. They're chasing Twisters. They do make some references to the original movie, but not one character's from that movie, and it's a completely different story. It's actually really good. Very good movie.
Nice.
I would actually pay to go watch again. If we had a group of fans that are like, oh, let's go watch Twisters, let's go do it, because I'm about to pay to watch it again. It was that good. I would go do it.
That's what's up.
Corey, you said that $211 million that Deadpool and Wolverine earned over the weekend. That was just in the U.S., right?
Yeah, that was just the U.S.
Worldwide, they actually earned $438.3 million, almost $500 million opening weekend out.
That's not bad at all. I think Avengers was the closest to it, was closer to the Billy mark, which is $376 million. They opened up, and then Infinity War the year prior to opened up at 251 million. So yeah, it's safe to say Marvel secured a nice future for them. Now here's the thing.
They can't fumble though.
Bobby.
Yes, sir.
Deadpool is the first R-rated Disney Marvel movie.
They made history.
Yeah, because in the past they were under Fox, and that's why Deadpool had the potty mouth. I don't know if you're familiar with the comic, like the comic scene with the characters.
So Marvel,
Deadpool.
absolutely. I'm a huge Marvel fan, but Deadpool was
Okay, so
never
you-
in my scope of knowledge. Let's say that.
Okay.
Anything with Thor, Iron Man, Avengers, Hulk, Captain America, all day long. I've got that.
Now I'm
I
talking
love
about
that.
comic versions, not just the movies, but the
But-
comics.
No, so I am not familiar with
Okay.
Deadpool. I don't know how his character
Alright, so
came to be.
You got
I
a
know
couple of
nothing
nerds
about
with you right now. We'll school you.
Yeah. Yes, we're gonna give you the game. So Wolverine is part of the X-Men. A lot of people
Right.
know Wolverine from the X-Men, but before
Yes.
he became part of the X-Men, he was part of Weapon X. He was part
That
of
I
an
knew.
experiment.
Hey, okay.
Just
Hey,
which is
and
how he got
so
his claws. So
yeah,
I don't
and
know.
and the
Impressed.
healing factor. Well, no, he already had his
He
healing
had
factor.
that. That's his mutant
That's
ability.
that's his mutant ability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Deadpool was able to get the same healing factor. However, he what was it? What happened with the situation with? Because he got his head cut off at the end of one of the Wolverine movies, and Origins, right? But Wolverine and Deadpool in the comic book, they always beefing. They're like how would I say? Who I'm trying to compare them to? Like Spider-Man and Incredible Hulk. They were like frenemies.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
when they came out with X-Men on the Fox, X-Men always was not the best movie. That's why we were so excited to see that $211 million came from a origin of Fox moved over to Disney. So all the Fox characters, which weren't their Marvel characters like the X-Men, Fantastic Four, Doctor Doom, all these are Marvel characters. However, they weren't under the Disney imprint because of the fact that when Marvel had to sell some of their rights to Disney in order to stay alive because they were dying.
They sold it to Fox. They spread it out. Back in the day, they had sold rights to some of their characters to Universal, Sony, and Fox.
Yeah.
And fast forward, when Marvel came out with Iron Man, they spun up their studios. Disney bought them for a few billion. I forget how many, maybe $4 billion, something like that. So now, within a few years ago, Disney bought Fox and reacquired all of those the intellectual properties from Fox.
Yeah.
So now
except for
you have
Spider-Man.
Except for Spider-Man, because Sony not giving up that money. Incredible Hulk, Universal's not giving up that money, right?
right.
But now you have most of the Marvel characters under one umbrella, which is now Marvel Disney. So this is really a discussion of like intellectual property, the power of IP. You know what I mean? So, which we've talked about with AI, because AI has been forcing a discussion of the protection of IP, right? So this is really showing the power of branding and intellectual property. That's what's huge, because now, like we said, Marvel was struggling back in the day, right? And this past weekend, they made $438.3 million, dog. I don't think they struggling no more.
Nah, they not. Well, depending on how much it cost to make that movie. I think it cost them about $200 million to make the movie.
Oh man, they made that back.
They made that back and then some.
And then some.
And man, fix the camera where I'm not in the middle.
I don't know why you adjusted your camera.
the playback is gonna be bad. Cause my kid, I'm in my office, but I share it with my kid, and my kid.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
But you know what I'm saying? This is hopeful because this is the only Marvel Cinematic Universe movie that is coming out this year.
Yeah, only one.
Marvel.
Only one.
And normally they come out with 3 movies a year. And with those 3 movies, with those 3 movies a year, if one was to fall short, the other 2 would make up for it because of the fact that it was done inside the year.
Wait, there's a Venom movie coming out.
Yeah, but that's a Sony. That's Sony
under
IP.
Sony.
Yeah,
that's not Disney.
Yeah, because Sony is trying to do what Marvel did, because they brought out Madam Web, that bombed. They're bringing out Venom, and they're also bringing out what's the other one? Kraven the Hunter. They're coming out with Kraven the Hunter. So, Kraven the Hunter
Spider-Man
is a Spider-Man. Yeah, he's in the Spider-Verse. And he's a bad guy. So what they're doing their enemy verse. So that's why this is the last Deadpool. Supposedly, Riot, which is part of Carnage. Riot is supposed to be taking over, and you will see them merging into the Marvel Cinematic Universe because of the fact that next year the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going to go back to doing 3 movies. They have Fantastic Four, which is coming out July.
That was big news too. Hold on now, you can't skip over that.
Well, look. Okay, I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back because I want to. You know what I want to end with. Okay. So there's Brave New World. That's the new Captain America. Chris Evans.
That looks good.
He's no longer Captain America. It's Sam Wilson. So in the comic books, Sam Wilson, who's a black man defending the United States as a hero. But there's a lot of history going back with that because there were other men who took the super soldier serum back when Captain America took it, and they used them as test projects. The new Sam Wilson, he doesn't have the superhero serum. He's just donning the cape with the wings, not the cape, but the wings and the shield.
Real quick, I don't know if we covered this though about the Deadpool movie. Did you say that it broke the opening record for R-rated films?
I did not. And I did say it was the first R-rated film.
It's the first Disney R-rated film, but it broke the opening record for R-rated film. And it was the first Deadpool movie actually held that record. So Deadpool broke the record, but it broke the record by breaking its own record.
Nice.
And it made a record by being Disney's first R-rated movie.
So even if I wanted to watch Deadpool versus Wolverine, should I watch the other Deadpool movies first, or is this a whole new thing?
Yes,
it'll help. I mean, it could stand alone on its own, but it will definitely help.
Let me tell you why it won't.
That's what I was wondering.
Because of the friends and the reason why. Yeah, you got to watch the other ones to see the purpose of him.
Yeah, good point.
What he went through.
Yeah,
to be able to be.
Okay.
Good point.
So watch the first 1 and 2, and then you could see the 3. And be like,
because you're right.
Yeah, and I said the same thing. I was like, you don't need to. Then I thought about it. I'm like,
good point. You got to see the first 2. Yeah,
but Brave New World, and then we also gonna have the Thunderbolts. That's coming next year.
I did see that one. Okay, so I did see the trailer for that one.
Yeah, and then we're gonna have the Fantastic Four, but here's the kicker: they gotta incorporate the Marvel Cinematic Universe sagas. So we just got out of the Infinity Saga where they had the Infinity Gloves. We're in the Multiverse Saga, which we about to end the Multiverse Saga, and with the Multiverse, certain characters are different characters. Certain heroes are different heroes in different universes, and you will see that also inside Deadpool, where one character was actually he was a superhero, but then he was another superhero,
but he went back to play his other superhero
which was also part of a different IP. But Robert Downey Jr.
he coming back, baby.
And he's going to end the multiverse saga, which he's no longer coming back as Iron Man. He's coming back as Dr. Doom.
Dr. Doom.
Which is the main is it protagonist or antagonist?
He's the protagonist. Your antagonist is your main good character.
Yeah, so he's the protagonist of Fantastic Four, which is going to lead us into Avengers
5, Doomsday. Yep. And then Avengers 6, Secret Wars. Yes, sir, and yes, ma'am.
And so I have to pick up the Avengers movies because those are awesome. I love the Avengers movies.
I love it. I am a crybaby. I cried when Spider-Man died in the Avengers Infinity War,
I don't feel so good.
Yeah, he was like, I don't want to die. I was like, don't. Then when he died, I was like,
dude, I watched that movie twice, and both times the whole movie theater was like, no, not Peter, no.
Yeah. Like,
But then it was
Everybody's
even worse.
emotionally invested in the movie.
Hey, the tears came out, man, when it was Tony, when he was like, "And I am Iron Man."
Iron Man.
Like, oh man, and then his girl told him, "You can rest now." Like,
Like, like,
man, ooh. But
Marvel
nah,
do this to me?
I would like to just encapsulate all of this and say the mouse is back. That's the mighty Mouse, man. Mouse gets the paper. Mickey Mouse, just in case
Mickey
you're not
Mouse
tracking.
gets the
Mickey
paper.
Mouse, man, he back. He brought back Deadpool. He brought back Wolverine. That was exciting. You know, I heard someone say this, man. We, the older folks, we got the Wolverine we wanted to see 20 years ago.
Yes,
this is the Wolverine I wanted to see back then,
the
man.
mask and the and he,
man.
Bruh, look, I was like, I wanted to say to the screen, Fox, this is how you do this.
Yeah, this is how you do it, man. The Wolverine is back.
Yeah, man.
And I can say this because they say it in the trailers. They gonna make you play this character for 90 until you 90
years. Yeah. But if you look at, because of the multiverse and the way he was traveling through time, you will see who the new Wolverine is.
A version of a Wolverine. You will see that.
Yeah.
You will see that.
Okay.
And
but
so
they
there's
saying that
cameo at the end of it.
Oh, they always have that. They gonna always have like the that's Marvel's theme where they have the after credit scene. But no, this is
the cameo.
during.
Yeah, this was during the main movie.
This
you
is
get
during
to
the
see
main
it.
movie.
Yeah, you'll
see
appreciate
it.
it. You'll be doing yourself a favor.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. What's going on? What the?
That means it's time to go.
That means it's time to go.
Hey,
Bobby, thank you again for joining us for part 2. Because we got the discussion we couldn't have last week because we had to get cut off. But it was good. Thank you. It was good. Bobby, if you want folks connecting with you, where can they connect with you at?
Connect with me on Facebook or on IG. It's Bobby.Lopez5 on IG and just Bobby Lopez. I'm probably going to be the first hot one that comes up. So go ahead and click.
Hey.
Follow. Just know what you're getting yourself into when you follow me.
Like it.
You're welcome to send me a DM if you have questions about anything that I said. I've been more than happy to show anything to back up what I've said and what I've stated and whatever facts you want. So if you want, just hit me up.
Y'all better come ready. Ain't no joke. Corey, how do they get in contact with you, sir?
You can find me at IG, TikTok, Facebook, X, at Corey Giovanni, all those things. And guess what?
What up?
I love y'all.
Hey, and then y'all can connect with me everywhere. At tech_Von_go on all platforms except for TikTok, because I don't do TikTok. But that is tonight's episode of Technically Speaking. Thanks for joining us. Y'all take care. Good night.